Hello, 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 beautiful souls. I hope you're super well. I am coming on here because I've got something to share. Something that is really deep on my heart, a truth that I would like to share with you. And I want to be really honest with you here in this episode. Like, so honest, like I've never been before, and being really vulnerable and being really open. And to be totally honest, for most of my life, I felt like a huge failure. For most of my life, I felt like there was something deeply wrong with me. I felt like an outsider. I just felt like a huge failure, and no matter what I did in my life, no matter what I achieved in the outside world and what others perceive now as my reality, as my life, for most of my life, I felt like it wasn't enough. It felt like a huge hole in my heart. It really felt like there was so much missing, and I thought the answers are all outside of me. I really thought that, others have what I don't have, and that I need to, do whatever they're doing. So I tried out so many things, and I think that's why I kind of lost myself over the course of my life. And I kind of lost my own truth. I didn't know what my needs are. I didn't know what my truth really was. I didn't really know who Renate, like who she truly was. And I feel like it also is really deeply connected to my childhood and what I experienced in my childhood. I felt like I was under a lot of pressure in my childhood, especially with my grandparents, and they just put a lot of pressure on me and basically my whole family to achieve things. And I know they just wanted the best of us, for us, yet I just felt like a huge failure all the time, and I felt like I was never good enough. And this has really caused me to try to be a perfectionist my whole life. I tried to make everything right the first time, and if I didn't make it right the first time, I just felt like there's something wrong with me, and therefore I felt like a failure, even though in an outside world it maybe even didn't even look like a failure. Yet I always had like a filter on, like a perception of this was just not good enough, And this pattern has followed me in my entire life. It has shown up in my relationships. And when I was about 18, I didn't have many relationships before then. Like, I wouldn't say like there was like a real relationship I had. And I really struggled as a teenager to have a boyfriend. That was one of my biggest things that I truly desired, because I thought like everyone around me had a boyfriend, and I just thought this will fulfill me, this will fill my gap. So I had my first ever real boyfriend at 18. I met him in New Zealand, and it turned out to be a really unhealthy, toxic relationship, to be totally honest. It turned out to be, not so nice, let's say. I don't want to go into the depths of it, as there will be another episode coming out going even deeper into this relationship. And if you ever experience also being in an abusive narcissistic relationship, then this episode will be for you, but I won't go into the depths of that now. So anywho, because I felt like a huge failure in my life, I've attracted relationships that mirrored that back to me, and really abusive relationships where I never felt good enough. Like no matter what I did, I felt like I needed to earn their love. I felt like I needed to do things. I needed to take a lot of action, massive action, overachieve in order for them to love me, in order to be perfect. And I really felt like I needed to be perfect, but this has led me to so much pain in my life because I never came to a point where it was enough. The point where everything is perfect will honestly never come. And I feel like that is the trap of the perfectionism that we have also in our culture, that we have received as children. And it's part of our conditioning. And it's a huge trap. And I compensated with overachieving, and I have achieved like so many great things in my life. I became an author, for example. I was part of a multi-author book many years ago. And I've done so much. Like I built my own business. Yet there was always a voice inside of me. No, you didn't do enough. You didn't do enough. And even if I achieved something and I felt some sort of like, oh my God, this was amazing, it was gone within minutes. And then it was almost like I got into this whole like nervous system response of feeling anxious and feeling like, what if I can't create any more success in my life? What if it will never really happen for me? And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself of achieving things, of, earning a certain amount of money in my life. And I honestly felt like for the last 3 years, I should be already much further ahead. I should be already having so many more clients. I should make so much more money. I just measured myself to something that wasn't even tangible. And it was really created in my head. But also I saw so many women speaking online about their success, about how much money they were making. And this has just led me to so much comparison, and also has led me to always feel like I needed to be the best. I just felt like a failure, and it was almost like I couldn't do anything about it, and I needed to get everything right the first time, like just freaking everything. And it could be also that it's part of my culture. I am from Germany, so maybe that was also part of my culture. Who knows, of the overachiever, of the hustling, of the doing, and whatever. But honestly, I realized so much when I realized that this pattern, that this belief has been running my whole life. I stopped because I questioned, like, will there ever be enough? Will there ever be the perfect moment? Will there ever be enough success? Honestly, because the thing is, the only thing you can see if you're an overachiever and a perfectionist is like the top of the mountain, and you just want to get there like as soon as you can, and you just put so much pressure on yourself, so much time pressure, like you honestly feel like you are running out of time and you need to get there no matter what, like as soon as you can, like bam, 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 bam. But if you have been running this for your whole life, it's in your nervous system basically. And like whenever you stop, whenever you slow down, you get actually quite anxious and you get activated in your nervous system, and you're like, I can't really slow down because if I don't do it, who will ever, like if you have a big mission to fulfill in this lifetime, and you know that your soul came here for a really, really big mission, and you just feel like you're running out of time, there will be never enough, and no matter what you do, and there's this big, big mission. Honestly, you will run towards your death. And it's like, it will never be enough. That's the truth. It will never be enough. The day will never come where you just finally get to rest. And what we need to do here is totally switch the gears and to work on our frequency and make our frequency the priority, the number one priority in our lives. Because if you are running the overachiever, the perfectionist, if you are always in doing mode, honestly, you are not in the frequency of love. You're not in the frequency of abundance. You are not in the frequencies of the higher realms of existence. You're not in the frequency of joy, because joy cannot coexist at the same time with putting yourself under pressure and feeling like you're running out of time. This whole template, these whole patterns and programs, they actually come from so much scarcity and fear. They come from like really the 3D grids. And were created from conditioning, but also related to probably past lifetimes, where our ancestors have worked their ass off basically, and they felt like they needed to do this in order to survive. But the truth is, you are living. We are not in countries where we are running out of food. You have always more than enough food available to you. You are not living on the street. You have a bed to sleep on. Like, there's actually so much luxury that we have access to. We have running water. Like, we have healthy water that we can drink from the tap. In other countries like Bali, for example, or Indonesia, you cannot drink their water from the tap. Like, especially the Western world, we cannot drink their water. Otherwise, we get Bali belly and, bacteria is in our system that we cannot, process in a way, or we cannot, you know what I mean. I don't need to go deeper into that right now. But we need to shift the frequency here, and we need to shift the gears, remembering that there is no such thing as running out of time. And stop co-creating with linear time. Like, when I started to co-create more with soul time, and really the soul remembrance of there is an infinite time available to us, and we've got our whole freaking lifetime to achieve the things we want to achieve, or to fulfill our soul dreams in this lifetime, and to really build our mission empire. We've got our whole freaking lifetime to do this. There is no such thing as running out of time. Honestly, we have so much time available, and everyone has the same amount of time available to them. So even if you have excuses of like, I am a mom having I am a single mom with 2 kids at home, I have a dog, I have this, I don't have any time, right? This is your own perception. You are living in this reality. But I also know so many women who are running businesses and they have 5 kids. They're running $1 million empire, and they're able to hold it all. So how come they can do it and they have the same amount of time available than others have? It is obviously about our own perception of time, and also our ability to, use our time, to focus our time. And also our capacity to how much we can actually hold, right? Because when you think about an empress needs to hold so much. It needs to hold nations. in order for the whole empire to run smoothly, to exist, she needs to be able to truly hold a freaking empire. She needs to be an empress. And an empress is different than to a queen. I feel like an empress can hold even much more than a queen can. An empress is like, she can hold an entire universe. She can hold an entire nation at her fingertips. Because she also knows she has support. And I think it's also realizing that we have support, that we can truly co-create with other versions of ourselves at different time points and co-create with them to either speed up things, or we can actually give them tasks to do. You know, we can actually be like, hey, other version of me, can you please do my social media marketing for me today? Like today I just got a lot on my plate. I need to focus on my own ascension right now. Maybe I'm going through a huge process and this is more important to me, but you can call upon all these other versions of you to hold the field with you. And you can also call upon your whole soul family and your soul guides truly as well. Like you are not alone. You are not alone. And if you are co-creating in that way, you are realizing that there's an abundance of time. There's an abundance of time. There is an abundance of everything. There's an abundance of money available to us. There is an abundance to love and enjoy the moment of joy. There is an abundance of everything available to us. But it's up to us to do the inner work and to change, to really shift, to shift back, to remember the soul's truth, that we have an infinite time. We have infinite time available to us. And also what I realized when I truly worked on my belief, always feeling like I'm a failure, there is no such thing as failure. Like if you could speak right now with a goddess who has so much love for you, and connecting with that goddess version of yourself right now. Like a goddess can hold entire planets, entire universes in her field, and she can see the light in every person that we might actually perceive as bad, as evil. Yet a goddess can see their light in them. They can see the goodness in them. They can see the life. They can perceive it. And if a goddess can perceive that, because the goddess is within us, we are here as women to awaken the divine feminine within us again, and to remember that we are a goddess, that we are gods, that we have the goddess within us, and we are the creatrix of our own realities. We realize that everything we need, everything that we truly desire is not outside of us, it is within us. And it is our own job, it's our own responsibility to take action on those realities that we truly desire to create. And taking back our own power, taking back our creatrix power. Realizing that no one can freaking fuck with us. And that in all honesty, like if you look at the whole freaking universe, there is no such thing as failure. Everything is actually perfect. And that is the paradox of perfectionism. Because like in nature, for example, not every tree looks the same. And some trees, they might be actually broken on the ground. But is there something wrong with that tree? Has there ever been something wrong with it? No, we wouldn't judge the tree. We wouldn't just go ahead and be like, there's something wrong with you, because all the other trees are still standing, but you are on the ground. So there must be something deeply wrong with you. No, we don't actually do that. We don't go ahead and do such things, right? So, okay, coming back here to, to what I really wanted to share here. So yeah, we wouldn't go just ahead to a tree, to anything in the plant kingdom, in the animal kingdom, saying to cows, just because you have a different color to the other cow, there's something wrong with you. And obviously you're not perfect. The truth is, all these imperfections, and maybe, it's just our own judgment, it's just our own perception that categorizes things in good and bad, but there is no such thing as good or bad. There just is. In the whole universe, there is no such thing as failure. And there is also no such thing as perfect, but everything is so perfect in a way too, though, because it's so imperfect. It's, it's just so perfectly created that God, a creator, the creator, wouldn't go like, oh my God, this thing here exists, it shouldn't be here. Because to be totally honest, it wouldn't even exist. It wouldn't even exist if it wouldn't have been, materialized. If it wouldn't have if there wouldn't have been a dream of someone dreaming something into existence and creating something into existence, it wouldn't even exist. We wouldn't even be here right now if there is not a higher purpose for us to be here right now in this time point on this planet. There is no such thing as failure. There is no such thing as failure. There's only soul's growth. There's only experiences. And the truth is also that when we are taking actions towards our dreams, and we might be on a mountain, right? And we're taking step after step to reach the top of the mountain. But will there ever be an end to our journey? Will there ever be the day where we finally arrive and we freaking succeeded? We can just relax now. We can just take a holiday for the rest of our lives. Will this day ever come where we truly felt okay, this was everything, my mission is completed. Bye-bye, guys. I'm ready to ascend, or I'm ready to, I'm ready to die. Honestly, this day will never come. And I think that's an illusion as well, that once we achieve this, once we succeed this, whatever, once we reach the top of the mountain, then everything will be fine. Everything will be perfect. And we succeeded. But it's such an illusion because in all honesty, once we're on the top of a mountain, we see another mountain and we want to climb that mountain. So there will never be an end to anything. And that's the whole point, though, that the whole thing is actually about the journey and taking step after step after step. It's actually about taking the small steps that will lead you to the thing that you truly desire. But at the end of the day, it's actually not about the thing. It's not about the money. It's not about the clients that you finally have, or that your business took off, or that your mission, you created an amazing organization that will change whole nations. It's not about that. And I think true queens, true empresses always knew that it's about the long game. It is actually about the whole journey. And it's just about taking the next step, and that you actually cannot fail if you're just taking step after step after step and choosing your own timeline. Also choosing to stop co-creating with linear time. Stop co-creating with the time that everyone is co-creating with, right? And start co-creating with infinite time, with soul time. remembering that there is so much time available to us. There is so much time available to us. And we cannot run out of time. And also knowing, okay, you cannot run out of time. And you can take your own time. You can create your own freaking timeline. Like taking back that power of like, I'm creating my own freaking timelines and I'm taking as much time as I want, because you also know it's about the frequency. It's about the frequency. It's about who you are while you're doing those things. It's more about the true alignment to your frequency than about taking the action. It's not about those actions. It's about who you are while you're doing the thing, while you're taking the action. So it is really about always coming back to what is my true soul's frequency? Joy, freedom, abundance, love, excitement, peace, ease, pleasure, purpose, power. Whatever it is about the frequency. It is about the frequency. And so, oh my goodness, I reconstructed my whole entire life, basically, because I did so much frequency work on myself. Especially in the last 3 years, I did so much freaking inner work. And before that work, I really felt like a failure in my business. I felt like, like when I first launched my life coaching business, that's now, I think that was in 2019. I felt like a huge fucking failure because no one signed up for me. I put this thing out there that I'm a life coach and no one signed up for 6 months, and I just shrank in myself and I was like, of course this doesn't work for me because I'm a freaking failure. So everything in my life mirrored that back to me, that I'm a failure, and I also had this huge pressure on myself and this belief of I need to get it right the first time. Like I need to perfect it the first time, otherwise I failed. And obviously the best things in life don't just happen the first time. Like Thomas Edison didn't just create the light bulb, the perfect light bulb in one freaking try. It didn't just happen. It didn't just fall out of the sky, right? It took him, I don't know how many times, 99 times or whatever. But all these pathways, all these trial and errors led him to create the light bulb that actually worked. So it's about the journey and being okay with making mistakes, making friends with making mistakes, loving making mistakes, and releasing judgment of you can make a mistake, blah 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 blah, and you failed in front of the society, whatever. This is just your own freaking inner critic talking. And who will truly come to you and be like, oh, you're such a failure, blah blah blah. Honestly, no one will come and do this. They just actually see what you cannot see. They see your own brilliance. They see your soul light, that you are an amazing, beautiful soul, and that you are already changing lives. That the frequency that you have right now is already changing lives. The person who you are is already touching people's lives. So if you take step, climb that mountain, and one day you will look back and it's almost like you cannot not succeed. Like your success is undeniable. Like you can only succeed. And that's the truth about success that no one is talking about. That you are already successful. You're already where you're meant to be. And let go of that bullshit from society and create your own success story. Redefine what success truly means for you. Not what anyone has taught you out there. So I'll leave it at that, my beautiful ones. I hope You could take away so many things from this episode. Reflect back in your own life where you maybe put a lot of pressure on yourself, where you felt like a huge failure. And honestly, forgive yourself. Be so loving and have so much grace towards you, because you are already amazing. You are loved. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And it's really just about taking these small little steps and taking them with the frequency of joy, of freedom, of, anything, that is in your soul frequency, that is really resonating with you. And just realize that it's just about being. It's just about who you are while you're taking that action. And one day you look back and you realize you've created the most beautiful rose garden because you planted all these seeds and you watered all of those seeds. And honestly, the most beautiful roses have grown because you were so brave enough to just keep going. So go you. I'm sending you so much love. From my heart to yours, your Renata Sophia Müller.